So hopefully you guys pick some of the same stuff I picked.
Yeah.
So I don't have to like choose between these.
Small chance of
There's
success.
alive.
What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
How often to that the episode of Picks and Lists, we got the nice cold opener of John saying, I hope we all say yes to his picks.
Welcome to Picks and Lists, everybody. I'm John Maher.
Oh, better get my red board. All right.
Go hell.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Combs.
got a great panel here of horror fans. We've got John here. John, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. You can still announce the show if you want, Malcolm. This is Rankum. We're doing horror movies today, and I'm happy to be here. Horror movies that should be remade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be here.
And we've also got Piers here. Piers, how's it going?
Or horror movies that should be remade again, as Malcolm clarified. As I actually, one or two of mine are actually, I wouldn't mind another adaptation. So, yeah, let's talk about them.
And we've also got JPO here. JPO, how's it going?
You know, as a star of Hunter X, which, again, if anyone wants to nominate Hunter X, you totally can. I would pitch maybe set it from the perspective of the guy from the hardware store, make him the lead. That's just me.
I really wanted to know more about that guy when I watched it. I was like,
exactly.
Like,
that's the twist
about that guy
on the new take. Yeah, it's all with the hardware store guy.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, we've got Jacob Barber. Jacob, how's it going?
I don't know. I got bad vibes from the hardware store guy. I'm not sure if I'd want an entire movie based around that character, but
his screen time seems just enough.
Nah, not as big of a horror fan as probably the rest of the panel, but I enjoy horror movies. I enjoy remakes, so let's do this.
I swear to God, if you nominate Frogman, I will come and find you. Why is it always so close to you? Always.
Why would I keep moving it? I don't have another
I know you buy
yet.
new stuff. Somehow it's always in the fucking top level grabber. You do just above me. I know.
Because I put the other movies here. I put them down here. Yeah, I don't have to put them on top of Frogman yet.
But with that, how ranking works is each go around and nominate our horror movie we think should be remade or remade again, and then everyone else say yes or no to it. If we get the majority of yeses, then it'll make the list. And yeah, but John, what's the first movie you're going to bring up?
I think it's fitting. Not that this movie should necessarily be remade because people are going to make the whole why would you remake an argument? But it has been 50 years, and I think I would like to see another Jaws movie. So it could be a requel or a reboot, but I think 50 years under a new director, Jaws, it's due. So I'm going to say Jaws is my first movie.
Austin, what do you say about Jaws?
Yeah, Jaws is one of those like holy grail movies that it seems like everybody agrees. Like, I don't know if we should like remake it and whatnot, just because I think so many movies have almost tried to already. I'm not necessarily like opposed to it because to me with remakes, it doesn't take away from the original movie. Like the original movie still exists, like it's not like anybody takes it away from you, when they attempt it. If it sucks, it sucks. You still have the original movie. I more get annoyed when they have legacy sequels with the same title, i.e., I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. I've never been like super opposed to it. It's been long enough, so I'll say yes. Why not?
JPO, what do you say about Jaws?
We got Sharknado. I feel like we've got our more modern Jaws already. But yeah, I think I'm in the right director here. So I think because the sequel sucked, like people have been afraid to touch it. But I wouldn't mind if they actually gave it like a real try. I think it'd be interesting to see. So I'll say yeah.
Jacob, what do you say about Jaws?
Yeah, a lot of my list that I put together are, classics or, they've been around for a while that I think it'd be interesting to see a modern retelling of the story, and I think Jaws is one of them. It was one of the first movies that came to my mind, so I'm on board with Jaws. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, Jaws. I also had Jaws written down too. It was like, and it's one of those ones like not so much that I think it's a bad movie or anything, because I do like Jaws. I think it's great. And it's one of those ones because I know there's a lot of people criticisms we're watching the original Jaws. Like, there's always comments of the shark still looks fake and all that. Like, I think with a remake, you could maybe make it scarier and all that. And I'll be interested to see what someone comes up with. So I'll also say yes. So Jaws is going to make the list. Austin, we're going to go back to you. What is your first nomination?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a movie that has been remade, and the remake of the original one is one of my favorite horror movies, but I still think there's more to be done with the property, especially with the advent of better special effects and whatnot. I'm going to say The Blob. I think we could use, actually, I'm kind of ready for a new version of The Blob. I love the 88 version. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I think the practical stuff is pretty great in that movie. But it only goes so far. Like in that movie, even when you watch it, it only gets to a point where they can only make it so big practically, and then it has even in that movie they had to cut to like both miniature stuff and stop motion, near the end when it's like the size of a car or the size of a street, the size of a house. There's only so much you can do practically. So I think The Blob would actually benefit from some CGI, like make it the size of a building, make it something where it's encompassing skyscrapers or and whatnot, and becoming a huge problem. So I think there's definitely like you can still do more with that concept. So I'm all about. I know we almost. I think John get back. We got close with like Rob Zombie almost making one in like the 2010s early. I think was like close we got. Like there was rumors of that, never went anywhere. But yeah, we give the right director. I actually think The Blob could benefit from some updated technology nowadays. So I'll say The Blob for a new adaptation.
JPO, what do you say about The Blob?
Yeah, I still know there's actually a fan base too. There's like a yearly convention where I think maybe they shot it or whatever. So I think there's maybe a bit of a want. They just want to like learn how you tackle it. Could also be kind of fun as well. So yeah, I'll give you yes.
Jacob, what do you say about The Blob?
Yeah, the the remake is actually the only one that I've seen. I haven't seen the original, and yeah, I really enjoy it, and I agree. I do think with the technology that we have now, the CGI that we have now, you could definitely do more with it, make it bigger, and I think it could really benefit. So I'm on board for another Blob remake. I'll say yes.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen any of the Blob movies, but I'm familiar with the story, and it's one of those ones like this. Definitely would be one that would be that would definitely benefit from a remake, because like you can do CGI there's stuff you can do with CGI that you couldn't have done back in the 80s with practical, as Pez said. So I'll say yes to The Blob. John, what do you say about The Blob?
Still kind of pissed that the 80s Blob like ends on like a promise of a sequel, like one of the final shots.
The Reverend guy,
yeah,
with the
holding the sample of the Blob, and like they never pulled the trigger on it. So yeah, I've been waiting for this movie since the 80s. So let's do it.
Yeah.
That The Blob is going to make the list. JP, we're going to go to you. What is your first nomination?
Yeah, I got a few things I'd like to bring up. First, I want to bring up. I'm actually going to bring up Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is a fun kind of. It's shot like it's a little bit of a documentary, but it's a very fun take on horror movies and some horror cameos in it as well. And I always thought, like, man, this would be a really great thing to. If you had a bigger budget, like some of the side acting is not all that great, but it's a really fun take. It's a unique way to do it. And now that we are literally filming everything, and there's a fun way to do it about that. So there's even more social commentary to add to it now, and yeah, give a really good, leading man, a good side cast and script. I think something that we could tackle again. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Jacob, what do you say about Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon?
I really enjoy the movie, but it wasn't one that I thought, hey, that could use a remake. But I'm not opposed to it. I'm gonna give it a slight no, but if it makes the list, I'm not gonna be upset. It is a really interesting. I'm busy the 9th. Did I tell you that, JPO?
Hey, trying to take over the show. I'm
um, but but yeah, this is once again, and this is another movie that I haven't seen, so I'm not, but I'm familiar with it because I'm pretty sure JP has brought it up in other things before. But or at least, I think Behind the Mask, it does sound interesting, and I think especially nowadays where they are doing a lot of creative things with horror movies these days. So I think a like remake of this could be interesting, and JPO did actually sell me on it, so I'm going to say yes to it. John, what do you say about Behind the Mask was Leslie Vernon?
They've been teasing this sequel forever, and they keep saying the sequel's going to come out. And I'm fully invested in the sequel. So I'd want to see the sequel before it was remade because, like, Nathan Bezos.
Yeah, but like, it might, yeah, but what happens, it happens. I'm just saying, this world, it would have happened by now, or if it happens, cool.
It's still like in pre-productions. I don't know. Like, I'm never gonna give up hope. I mean, Nathan Basil's not an old man, so like it. And plus,
saying yes doesn't mean you're giving up hope.
I don't know. I don't want to reboot the series before I get the sequel I was promised. So I don't know. If it would make a sequel more promising, I guess I would say yes. I'll give it a reluctant yes.
And Piers, what do you say about Behind the Mask?
I probably would have said no, only because I think that movie's still being discovered by a lot of horror fans, and I think it's still clever enough to where the script still works now, to where you can go back and it still touches on a lot of the horror cliches and the tropes and whatnot. That's still relevant. So I don't think it necessarily needs an update, just with new actors. Like I think it's fine as it is, and I like the kitschy charm of the low budget stuff. And yeah, I would rather see a sequel than a remake. So I will say no.
But that Behind the Mask is going to make the list.
I would argue, if anything, getting a reboot would also bring more eyes to the original. It's like there's still a very small niche of people that are finding it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go to Jacob. Jacob, what was the first movie you're going to bring up?
I'm going to go with Creature from the Black Lagoon. We've seen a lot of, the classic, Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Wolfman, Mummy. We've seen a lot of, different reimaginings and retellings of those. But if there's been one of the, like I said, I'm a very casual horror fan. So if there's been a reimagining, a retelling of Creature from the Black Lagoon, I am unaware of it. I would love to see what, in the hands of the right director, given the technology that we have, I think it could be a great remake. So Creature from the Black Lagoon will be my first nomination.
Yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon, I'm also I'm familiar with. I have heard a lot about it. It sounds interesting, and I definitely would be interested to see this sort of reimagined, see what someone like Del Toro could come up with. Because I think Del Toro could be a good one to remake this.
Harry did a fish movie, didn't he?
He did the Shape of Water, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, really kind of been there, done that.
So I'll say yes to this. John, what do you say about Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I mean, I'm kind of like, I'd say yes, because I think it is definitely coming. I mean, given the whole, Lee Winnell, James Wan kind of tackling all these Universal monster movies, I feel it's only a matter of time before we get some sort of Creature of the Black Lagoon movie. So I'll say yes, even though I think it's inevitable. Like we're not forcing anything that isn't going to happen by having this conversation. We're getting this movie whether we have this conversation or not. So I'll say yes.
It's a weird movie.
Piers, what do you say about Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yeah, it's one I consider for my list. I think it's probably been again, that one's been in 70 years since we got the original one. And yeah, it's the only one that hasn't really gotten a reboot yet. So I do think it's inevitable, and I would say yes. I would not be opposed to it. The old one has some cool underwater stuff, but it's not the most exciting movie I've ever seen. So I could use a more exciting remake. So I'm for it. I'll say yes.
JPO, what do you say about the Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I mean, ever since Shape of Water, I've been, wanting more fish sex. So if that brings the possibility of more, then yes.
But that Creature from the Black Lagoon
no fish sex, I'm not going to see it.
It's a niche that doesn't get talked about. So.
But for my first one, I'm going to go for another one that's already like had a remake. I'm going to bring up The Fly. And this is once again, I think the remake with Jeff Goldblum is probably the best version of this. But this is one of those ones I think with the way prosthetics are now, and I think Coley Farjay, who did The Substance, I think could do a really interesting version of The Fly that I think it could really work and to get another remake. And I think this one could be really interesting to see what they would do sort of now with the advancements like prosthetics and stuff. But John, what do you say about The Fly?
That's like a hard no. I don't think anybody is gonna like just David Cronenberg has to be dead in the ground before anybody even like touches this property, like guaranteed. Like not in my lifetime, no.
Austin, what do you say about The Fly?
That's one where I think it's so perfect. I'm going to say no because that movie just gets me in the feels every time. By the end of it, I'm afraid if somebody remade that one, it would just be all about just turning a guy into a CGI monster without the heart of that movie. And the emotional connection, they would leave all that at the door and just be concerned about making gross stuff on screen. And that's not really what that movie's about. It's about a guy losing his humanity. So yeah, I'm going to say no to The Fly. Actually, I think we got about as perfect of adaptation as you're ever going to get with the Cronenberg one.
JPO, what do you say about The Fly?
Yeah, I'd be intrigued, but like I said, I'd be very hesitant. At least me towards no. Like I feel like it's one of those, we've seen it and we've seen it done pretty well. So
And Jacob, what do you say about The Fly?
I absolutely love The Fly. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies, period. Pez and I have talked about it. We discussed it when we did a podcast about movies. I watched it, and then the next day I was like, that movie was so good, I'm going to watch it again. I watched like the commentary and all the behind the scenes and special features. Like, I think it's nearly a perfect horror movie that if they did a remake, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's not one that I'm like, we need to remake this movie. So I'm gonna give it a no, but if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. If that's not going to make the list, we go back to John. What is your first nomination? Next nomination, rather.
I figure there's two different kinds of remakes we get, right? We get remakes of older movies that are modernized, and then we get remakes of foreign films that that we Americanize foreign films. So I'm going to do one of those. We're coming up on the 10th anniversary of Na Hong Jin's The Wailing. And I think given the current xenophobic state of America, if you made the Japanese guy like a Mexican and then put the same story with like a Mexican guy crossing into a Texas town, but did the same plot of The Wailing, it would be a fucking banger of a movie. So The Wailing is my second nomination.
Austin, what do you say about The Wailing?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily opposed to doing like adaptations of foreign films as long as you take care of it and it's not lazy like Pulse or so Shudder, just some of these just like really lazy ones. If you actually put some thought and effort to it, yeah, The Wailing is a beautiful film. It's really good. And yeah, I actually again give me the right director for it. Somebody will actually take care of it and cares
Demian
about
Rugna. Rugna's The Wailing.
Yeah, give me somebody that cares for the material and wants to send a message and whatnot, and not just just make it like a spooky story. And I'm fine with it. So I'll say yes to The Wailing, but I don't know how many people on this panel probably seen it though.
JPO, what do you say about The Wailing?
what is this? I don't know what is it.
The Wailing. It's a South Korean movie from like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't really know what to say. No. I didn't tell me what it was. Explain it to me. I would have said yes.
Like I did basically like a Japanese like drifter comes into this Korean like fishing town, like a small town, and all of a sudden like people start getting possessed and dying, and it's like there's like xenophobic elements, like they're afraid of the Japanese guy, but it's also like a demon story. The main character is kind of like a comedic lead, but it's like so out of place that it's like it works. He's like a comedic cop character, but it's like a mystery, supernatural, demon, xenophobia movie, I'd say, from South Korea.
All right, I'll put you yes then. Thank you. That's what I needed.
Jacob, what do you say about The Wailing?
Yeah, I'm sold. I haven't seen it. I was unfamiliar with it, but John, he kind of sold me on it. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's on Hulu, so I'll probably end up checking it out fairly soon.
I must
two
be
and a half hours.
misspelling it. I can't find it.
What?
Wailing like WAIL.
AILING, the wailing.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like the crying, the wailing.
I was looking for the animal.
No, it's that they're not whalers. they're whalers.
Yes.
I found it.
99% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, those foreign horror movies. They typically, if people are raving about them, it's for good reason. So I'm on board. You sold me.
Yeah, I'm also in the camp of I'd never heard of it before now, but it sounds interesting. And like to see an Americanized version of this would definitely be interesting. So I'll say yes. The Railing is going to make the list. Piers, we go back to you.
Yeah, I always need more Lovecraft adaptations in my life. I love that stuff. So I'm going to go with another favorite of mine, but it's kind of a low budget favorite. I'm going to go with Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. I actually wouldn't mind a new adaptation of From Beyond, just because, again, most of it takes place sort of in this house, just with Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs and whatnot, Ken Foree. And yeah, it's an adaptation where he turns on this machine that reveals all these other dimensional creatures that live among us, but they can't interact with us until you turn on this machine, and then they can. But when you watch the movie, it gets a little cheesy with the effects. It has some good practical stuff, here and there, but there's like again, kind of stop motiony fish flying around and things like that. And it's just kind of there's not much budget put into it. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a larger scale movie, maybe where this machine turns on and, these creatures take over a whole town or something like that, or a city, expanded a little bit.
That's called The Mist.
Yeah, a little bit, but like even The Mist didn't have that much of a budget either. Yeah, no, I know. It's but Mist is very Lovecraftian as well. But I mean, yeah, I think this concept could be explored a little more of like these other dimensional creatures. That guy, fuck around and find out kind of a movie. Is what it is. So I wouldn't mind a new adaptation of this. It's been 40 years, so I'm down for it.
JPO, what do you say about From Beyond?
Is this a spin-off of Wicker Man?
No.
No, I don't. For some reason, it's listed on this list. It says Wicker Man From Beyond the Wicker Tree. I don't know. Whatever. I found a bad list.
It's From
Beyond.
It's just called From Beyond from 1986.
No, I got it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not called that. I don't know. For some reason, it was lumping it in there. But no, otherwise, yeah. No, I haven't seen it, but good stuff that was sold. So I'm what I'm looking at. Jeffrey Combs, right?
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, all right, as long as he cameos.
Sure.
He's the main character.
We're not the fucking reboot, asshole.
He can be the main character, so why the fuck not?
No, my answer is no. John Trainor. That's it.
Jacob, what do you say about From Beyond?
Yeah, it's another movie that I'm unfamiliar with. Like I've heard of it. I just I haven't seen it. But it is on everyone's favorite streaming service, Tubi. So I'll probably check it out because it does sound interesting. And yeah, if you guys can sell me on why they need to be remade, I'll agree with you. So I'll agree with you, Pez. I'll say yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always like getting recommendations from homers that I may not have heard of until this very moment. And it does sound interesting. I'm definitely going to check this one out at some stage. And yeah, it definitely sounds like one that could benefit from once again a lot of these new technologies we're getting and stuff. And it could be interesting to see what someone can come up with if they were to reboot this and see what happens. So yeah, I'll happily say yes to From Beyond. So it's going to make the list. JPO, we go back to you.
John.
Well, my opinion.
John, what did you say about From Beyond?
When
somebody who's seen it, I'd like his opinion.
When Pez started talking, I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's remake Reanimator." But then he said From Beyond, which is fine.
Well, how do you know I wouldn't also bring up Reanimator later?
I think you'd bring up Reanimator first because we're gonna get to 12 pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, I think any of the 80s kind of like Stuart Gordon movies should be remade, definitely, just for the exact reasons Pez is saying. Like, I think we can do Reanimator better. I think we can do From Beyond better. So I'll back Pez. From Beyond deserves it. I'd love to recast that. That'd be great. Just the recast would be cool. Figuring out who those people are going to be.
I like Reanimator a lot as well. I watch From Beyond more. I'm just more kind of fascinated by the story.
If we make Jeffrey Combs the actual professor that starts it all, and
the older professor that disappears for a while and then comes back, I'm down. Yeah.
Oh, now he is cameoing. That's how it is, John.
No, he's like the fourth lead in that man. If I do that,
yeah,
like I fucking said.
But, I mean, unrelated to From Beyond, I'm pretty sure one of the characters in Reanimator is called Hans Group. But JPO, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I like foreign movies too. Let's go with a German classic. I want to remake Cube. This is a really fun, inventive movie. Again, kind of like I was saying with the last one, like I feel like there's just so much more that can be done with the more recent effects, with a better cast too. That's kind of the only smaller download for Cube. And we've seen a lot of these films, kind of become popular. There's one on called The Brick, I think, that just debuted on Netflix. It's The Platform. These just kind of these weird, you wake up, you're in this cube, there's different mysteries of figuring out how to get out. And again, you put a good 4 or 5 cast in there, and you have a really good time. And I think it's a good, unique enough concept to get a lot of fun with. Cube.
Jacob, what do you say about Cube?
We're 3 for 3 in this round of nominations of movies that I am unfamiliar with, but I am now interested in because this one's also streaming on Tubi. Thanks.
Oh,
Tubi.
watch Cube.
Yeah.
Watch Cube. Cube's great.
Cube's awesome.
So again, if you guys can sell me, I'll back you. JPO, you sold me. I'll give you a yes.
But yeah, with Cube, this is one of those ones I need to give Cube a rewatch. I'm one of the few. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I still think it's an interesting movie. But it's one of those ones I could see a remake of this happening. I would be interested to see what someone could do with it. So I'll say yes to it. John, what do you say about Cube?
Well, they literally just remade this a few years ago. They
Japanese one.
It's a Japanese one.
Yeah, but again though, it's the Japanese and nobody saw.
It feels like beating it to death. I mean, I definitely would want to see it, but I feel like this concept
I'm going mainstream though. Has it been beaten to death? People didn't even know it existed.
There's a French movie
called, it existed.
Yeah, there's a French movie called Meander that came out. That's almost the same movie. There's plenty of movies hey, we wake up and there's fucking traps. But we never got But I mean, the original Cube kind of is the American version of Cube, I guess. Again, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's gonna go a sci-fi original Cube. Yeah, do it.
See, no, that's not what I'm selling. But whatever. Jesus Christ.
Piers, what do you say about?
Oh, come on, put it in the hands of Alexandra Aja, and he'll make it happen. So I'm down for more Cube because the Japanese remake didn't do it for me. Cube 2 Hypercube does not do it for me. Cube 0 didn't do it for me. I think there's a couple attempts that haven't quite gotten it right and recapture the magic of that original one. But it's a limited magic, because it's very, very simple. Just kind of going from room to room, figuring it out. You could expand it a little bit and have fun with the concept. So it's a good concept, and I've always been fascinated with it. So I'm down for Cube. Yeah, that's a yes.
If that Cube is going to make the list, Jake, we're going to go to you. What movie are you going to bring up?
Yeah, I think this one. I think it had an interesting concept, an interesting premise. I think the execution just wasn't there. I would love to see a remake of Maximum Overdrive. I think that one could be. You put it in the hands of a capable director,
somebody besides a coked up Stephen King. Yes,
somebody who knows how to direct a movie.
I think Stephen King needs a second shot at this. Put him back in.
But again, with the updated technology and CGI and effects, I think we could get something much better than what we got. So Maximum Overdrive will be my next nomination.
I remember when we did top 12 movie vehicles on Rankum. the Green Goblin truck from Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive, I think, made the list. But but yeah, I one of these I'll get around to seeing Maximum Overdrive. I've heard things about it, not so much good things, just but it sounds interesting, and yes, I'll say yes to a reimagining of this. John, what do you say about Maximum Overdrive?
It's a movie. We actually got a remake last year called Y2K. It was pretty good. But no, I'd love to see the source material actually get a. I mean, I think every Stephen King short story that got shit on in the 80s deserves a second chance. So, yeah, why not? Maximum Overdrive, yes.
And Piers, what do you say about Maximum Overdrive?
Oddly enough, I've seen that the movie Trucks from '97 with Timothy Busfield. I've seen that quite a bit as well. That was another like cheap adaptation they did of it for the Sci-Fi Channel back in the '90s. But yeah, I like Maximum Overdrive. Maybe my affinity for it comes from the fact that AC/DC does the whole soundtrack, which is great too. But it's actually on my list, Jacob. Like I think Maximum Overdrive, I wouldn't mind an update of it. Yeah, and to take it beyond cars and trucks and with the advent of technology we have now, it's not just that. Like in that movie, it's like the household appliances, you can do the cell phones, you can do everything. And yeah, Y2K was meh at best. So like just do a straight like Max.
It is the same plot though. It's the same exact plot.
It's the same plot. Yeah, everything come to life. And the only difference is that they're like combining machines in Y2K to create like robot machines, a little bit, some clever concepts. But yeah, let's make it bigger and have a little fun with it. I'm down for Max Overdrive. JPO.
And JPO, what do you say about Maximum?
But if you had said trucks, I would have said yes. But I also say yes for this.
Yeah.
But that Maximum Overdrive is going to make the list. It's back to me. I'm going to try for this one. See what happens. I'm gonna when it comes to Americanized like remakes of foreign movies, this like I don't mind the version of The Ring that came out in 2002, but I think this is one of those ones that I think you could someone could remake and actually make it like as scary as the Japanese one was, because from what I've heard, like the Japanese one is actually more darker than the American one, and they sort of go really bones, and especially nowadays where a lot of horror movies sort of going more extreme in the terms of like violence and scares and stuff. And so I think if you do another remake of The Ring, you could take this into dark territory and could be interesting to see where they go. But John, what do you say about The Ring?
So just to be clear, we're not remaking The Ring. We're remaking Ringu.
Yeah. Whichever way you want to.
If we got Ringu, then yeah, I'm for it. Yeah, if we're gonna do not necessarily like a Gus Van Sant shot for shot Psycho remake, but if we do like Ringu's tone and like Ringu's vibes, I would want to see that. Yes.
Austin, what do you say about Ringu?
Yeah, Malcolm, if you revise it to say Ringu is what we're doing, a new adaptation of, not the Gore Verbinski, The Ring, because I haven't really loved any of the American Ring movies that they've done. I'm just not a big fan. It doesn't quite work for me, but I like Ringu. And yeah, if you stick to more of that one rather than the boring kind of goofy shit they did in The Ring, I'm just not a fan of that movie. But yeah, you say give me another adaptation of Ringu that sticks more towards that. I'm okay with it. So yes to Ringu, no to just redoing The Ring again.
JPO, what do you say about Ring/Ringu?
Funny enough, agree and also disagree with Paz. I like The Ring, but I don't necessarily want a remake of it. So if you're talking about a Ringu and a different kind of tone, then again, I say yes.
Jacob, what do you say about Ringu/Ring?
The same thing everyone else said.
So it's going to make the list. I'm just going to label it as this, so people don't get confused about what we're meaning by this.
Yeah.
But John, we're going to go back to you. What is your next nomination?
I'm just gonna go for like a reach, just because like I think there's another set of movies, just like underseen movies that like everyone kind of knows about, but like They weren't great when they were originally made, but the concept was there. So I'm going to talk about 1978's Martin by George A. Romero. It's about a dude. We don't know if he's a vampire or if he is mentally ill and just thinks he's a vampire. And it's kind of like just him trying to just find his way in modern day Pittsburgh. And I'm kind of underselling it, but it really is a great character study. It's just limited by the fact that it was like early Romero, not like mid-stage Romero, I guess. And a lot more can be done with it if we got like a really good lead, like a really good character actor playing Martin and the uncle and all the side characters. I think a guy who kind of like an updated, not funny Vampire's Kiss is kind of what I'm looking for here. Like not played for comedy, played for like tragedy. I think we can remake Martin in the modern day with like a good, maybe like a Robert Pattinson as Martin.
Austin, what do you say about Martin?
Yeah, I've seen Martin, and I think it's just kind of hindered, by the time period and whatnot. But I do like the concept of Martin. Yeah, we need more unconventional vampire movies where, maybe it's like about the horror of actually the transition of being a vampire or trying to hide it from other people and whatnot. Because there's movies that touch on that, like Near Dark and a few things of like trying to, they play around with how they kind of fit into society, but like they don't explore it a lot. I wouldn't mind some more unconventional vampire movies. And an update of Martin, I think, would bring attention to Romero. And that's one where I think the remake would benefit in that it would watch that and bring more attention to the Romero movie. So I'm fine with that. So I'll say yes to Martin.
JPO, what do you say about Martin?
Never heard of it from now, but no, looking up and from what you said, I can dig it. So yeah.
But Jacob, what do you say about Martin?
Yeah, it's these kinds of movies that I think should be talked about. When it comes to remakes, movies that maybe were underseen or little known movies that can bring more attention to them. Because I was just looking it up, and it sounds really interesting. It sounds like the people that have watched it, it's well received. So I'm curious again. Another one that's on Tubi. So I'm getting all these recommendations that
it's a late night for you.
Later watch. I'm on board. Again, if you can sell me on why it should be remade, I'll tend to agree with you. So it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, apparently in the UK, this was one of the movies targeted during the video nasty panic in the early 80s, where it wasn't banned outright, but it was seized. So during that time, it couldn't be legally sold or rented on video.
It's not even that bad. I mean, the opening scene, I guess, is a little like squeamish, but it's not.
Yeah, but there's way worse movies than Martin.
Yeah, it never gets bad.
But I'm definitely intrigued by Martin, and so I'm definitely interested in checking it out. But I'll say yes to it for this as well. I think it could be interesting enough to be remade. But Piers, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Yeah, I think we need more Twisted Wish Evil Genie movies. I'm gonna pitch Wishmaster. I'm down for a new version of Wishmaster, man. And I love the '97 movie. I like they pay homage to a lot of horror, actors throughout the film, with all the cameos and whatnot. But they really don't dive into a lot of the mythology of the jinn, these like evil genies, and like sort of why they grant these twisted wishes. And it's that total thing. If you haven't seen it, of like somebody says like the wish guy will go, do you wish not to see this? And I was like, yes, they'll blind the guy, or I'd love to see you get through me. So he turns him in a pane of glass and walks right through him, like just all those kind of twisting around monkey's paw kind of stuff. But I think you could do more with this jinn concept. Toby Hooper made a movie called Jinn, which is not very good. Not a lot of people have kind of tackled it. And if you get a better actor than Andrew Divoff, who's doing a very over the top kind of silly performance in that film, maybe take it a little more seriously, amp the horror up a little bit, make it really horrifying. This guy going around and really messing up people's lives. He like takes their souls when they grant their wishes. It gets pretty twisted, and they only kind of touch on that in the Wishmaster movie. So I like it as a fun kind of B movie, but I wouldn't mind seeing a new kind of take on it. So I'll say Wishmaster.
But JP, what do you say about Wishmaster?
Yeah, I'm doing this more than I'm aware just because of Dead Meat and and reading about it. So that was on my short list as something I was kind of interested in as well. So yes.
Jacob, what do you say about Wishmaster?
Yeah, it wasn't one that I thought of, but funny enough, I did just watch this for like the first time like 4 or 5 months ago. And yeah, I think it could be due for a remake again, modern times, and explore the concept a little more. I think you could do a lot with it. So I'm gonna say yes.
Um, yeah, I I do like Wishmaster enough. Like I do want to give it a rewatch. I remember being sort of when I first watched it, I remember being a little bit lower on it, but now I kind of know the concept and all that, and I'm probably going to give it a shot. But it's one of those ones. It's kind of a who's who of horror movie in this. But you've got like Tony Todd, second Tom Savini movie to be brought up to
Kane
the
Hodder, Robert England.
They're all in it.
They're all in
Yeah.
it. Dude from Phantasm, what's his name? Nice
Angus,
Yeah.
Angus Scrim, Clint
Yeah.
Howard. Yeah.
Clint Howard. Yeah, I mean, lots of people in it. So yeah, it's a who's who.
But yeah, I'll say yes. John, what do you say about Wishmaster?
I'm in just on the caveat that it's played totally straight because Pez is right. Andrew Divoff's delivery is fucking legendary though. Like it doesn't put me off. Just him talking like this for like 2 hours.
What if I told you? It's just like very.
If you haven't seen Wishmaster, watch it just for Andrew Divoff's performance. It's freaking great. I'd like to see that redone and then redo Leprechaun and then have the Leprechaun Wishmaster crossover that we all want. We all want Leprechaun versus Wishmaster. And we're not going to get it unless we remake Wishmaster. So let's do it.
Yeah.
JPO, what is your next movie you're going to bring up?
It's more a bit of a genre mixer here, but I saw it on some list and I saw it. It is real as horror and stuff. And I know it's been talked about, but again, I just want to solidify and make it happen. I want to revisit the Spawn universe here. It's been discussed for a long time. I think there's a lot of great stuff between that main character, some of the villains that we've of course never been able to touch upon. We've only had the one movie. And yeah, this entire universe is the hellscape. Again, if you have better effects, which hopefully you can nowadays, the hellscape, some of the villains, I think can look fantastic here. Put a good looking man, they can have a really good sword performance. I think you'd have a great hellish time. Spawn.
Jacob, what do you say about Spawn?
Funny enough, this was the next movie I was going to bring up. Actually,
Hey, and I was just now.
I just revisited Spawn not too long ago, and I liked it as a kid / teenager who probably only watched it because mom said no, you can't watch R-rated movies, and I said screw you, mom, I'm going to watch it anyway. And yeah, it could use an update. I know it's been talked about, but I don't think anything has been set in stone. So I'm on board for a Spawn remake.
Especially with superhero movies like still being really popular, and that I think Spawn could be an interesting one to do an updated thing. Fun fact, I was actually almost considering bringing out Blade because as of yet that hasn't been remade. But who knows if the one that is supposedly happening or not happening, it's scattered. But Spawn could be an interesting one to redo, and yeah, so I'll say yes to it. John, what do you say about Spawn?
Yeah, I can't think of a reason to say no to Spawn. Like, I think, why not? Spawn, I'm down for a Spawn remake in any media. Let's do it.
Austin, what do you say about Spawn?
Well, yeah, because I got excited when this supposed Jamie Foxx version, like they got close and said it was going to happen, and then it still hasn't happened yet. And I'm still seeing like even articles from like 6 months ago being like, "We swear it's coming, we swear it's coming," and I'll believe it when I see it because I don't think it is. But yeah, I mean, it definitely that original movie has so much potential. It's just not great, and there's so many like cool little hints of something that could be great in that movie. But yeah, I mean, the effects are pretty horrible for the most part. The prosthetics and makeup are good, but the effects are awful. And yeah, having Spawn, little more hellfire, like some more realistic demons and whatnot. Yeah, I'm down for it. So yeah, I'll say Spawn, and yeah, I wouldn't mind a kind of a smaller, grittier, like just a ground level kind of Spawn horror action movie. I'm down.
And that will close out. Spawn is going to make the list. Jacob, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I had a few. Christine, I think, could be an interesting updated remake. The Birds, I think, could be interesting. And then one that I think I was lower on than most people, but Event Horizon, I think, could be interesting as well. Those were a few that I thought of.
Yeah, a couple of those I had on my list as well. Another one that for me, I think we kind of overdue for another take on Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think there's so much more you could probably do with that story. Well, I know there's versions that people like in that, but I think it's one of those stories that I think they need to do a better one to wash out the taste of the invasion, even though I didn't want the invasion, but I know a lot of people don't like it. I think Ghost Ship could be an interesting one to remake, and make that more scary than just a really cool kick-ass opening scene. And one that I kind of expected John to bring up to annoy me, but Black Sheep could be an interesting one to remake. It is actually
Black Sheep is perfect. Leave it alone.
It is getting a sequel though, so there was a sequel to Black Sheep coming. But John, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, like there's a couple like I just didn't mention. Like I would have mentioned Friday the 13th just because the whole thing is like all the legal drama is ending, but I think we are going to get that TV show, so I didn't mention it. Going back to like foreign remakes, I would like to see maybe like American remakes of Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure, because that's like a very hard movie to access, but I think it'd be better in an American version. Also, Audition as an American version, if we could stomach that. In the modern dating scene, Audition would be great, an Audition remake. Mm-hmm. And then as far as like campy stuff, I figured like maybe make it less campy and do Return of the Living Dead modern day, and make it less campy and do Theater of Blood in the modern day. Both of those would probably be good remakes.
Apparently, we're getting like a new Return of the Living Dead like sequel.
All right. Well, I'd rather just have it rebooted straight up.
It's on the IMDb like thing. There's a teaser out for it right now, John. I don't know. I didn't know this until I went on IMDb the other night, was scrolling around, and it's there. So it's supposed to be like 18 months after the first one. Okay.
All right.
Interesting. We'll see.
So set in the 80s. Fantastic.
It's set in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. But the director didn't give me much hope. So, anyways, yeah. As far as me, we touched on Reanimator. Yeah, either of Stuart Gordon's movies. I think could use an update, and I'd be cool with that. Society is one I think you could touch on as well. There's so many interesting concepts of society.
Yeah, society.
Society's fun, but yeah, again, it's kind of scaled down. I mean, it works for what it is, but you can scale that up a little bit and explore that concept a little bit more. I wouldn't be opposed to another adaptation of American Psycho with all the great actors we have tooling around now, and see who else could kind of tackle that material. Arachnophobia, I think, could work. Really bring that one up to date with the spiders and whatnot. And I don't know how you do it now because maybe it's just a product of the '80s and mall culture, but Chopping Mall, I wouldn't mind seeing a new adaptation of.
I thought about that one.
You could just make it still set in the 80s.
I mean,
why not?
Just just have a little fun with that concept because I love that movie for what it is. But yeah, I wouldn't mind somebody else tackling Chopping Mall. So yeah, there's a few I had.
Yeah, I don't know if this is one you're thinking of, but there's supposedly coming out in December 2025. That new
it's got a teaser on the IMDb page. So yeah, but the director is like a very unknown person who's done a couple of just nothing movies. So
who's attached to direct it?
I don't know. I looked him up the other day. I'd have to find the page again. But,
I'll look it up. No problem.
Yeah.
JPO, did you have any honorable mentions?
Basket Case. There's no Malignant without Basket Case. Him and his twin brother Belial. That'd be a fun remake. I also was going to bring up Shopping Mall. That would have been fun. You can even or you could set it in the modern place. Maybe just it kills off. That's why the many people just don't attend the mall or maybe they break in. But urban legend that would be fun. Black Roses about a killer like town with a rock band could be fun. House on Haunted Hill, Slumber Party Massacre, Women Power, women, and Stay Alive, the video game one. I thought it had a good unique concept that wasn't really fleshed out or utilized as well as it could have.
And John, it's Steve Walsh who did
Yeah,
a couple movies I've never heard of: Fog City, Muck, and Killer Goats.
I have seen
Fog City.
I have seen Kill Her Goats because Kane Hodder's in it for like 5 minutes. That movie blows with 50 O's.
So it's the same director. So there you go. So it
This
doesn't
guy
give me a lot of.
sucks. Oh boy!
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
Right.
So look for it straight to VOD in December. So yeah,
a Fathom event. A Fathom event.
Yeah, one of those one nights like Skill House. Yeah, it'll be great.
And a couple that we brought up in the chat. We've got Dreamcatcher, Night of the Creeps.
I think about that. Dreamcatcher actually really great. I think about horror.
Yeah, Needful Things, Alligator, Chud.
I thought Chud on a lot of list.
The Craft.
You kind of did review the Craft like 2 years ago.
Life Force, Nightbreed, which I think is a
Ooh, Nightbreed might be dope.
And The Keep. Yeah. So a lot of those I've never heard of. So, but that we're going to sort of rank what we've got here. John, what do you have for number 12?
Really haven't been keeping track here, but out of the list we got, I'd say just based on the fact that I'm still waiting, I'd probably put Behind the Mask at my number 12.
Austin, what do you have?
The one I flat out said no to, Behind the Mask.
JPO, what do you have for 12?
Fuck you guys. Sorry, cough. Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
Jacob, what do you have for 12?
Behind the Mask.
And for me, I went Martin, but Behind the Mask is going to be at 12. Piers, what do you have for 11?
I didn't write it down yet, but I'll say Ringu, The Ring.
JPO, what do you have for 11?
Maximum Overdrive.
Jacob.
I also said Ringu.
I'm sticking with Martin. John.
I'd probably go with Ringu as well. Write that down this time.
JPO, what do you have for 10?
Maximum Overdrive.
Jacob.
I'll go with Martin this time.
I'm sticking with Martin. John.
I'm with Maximum Overdrive.
And I'll break it with Martin.
Jacob, what do you have for 9?
I'll go Maximum Overdrive this time.
I'm going to go Wishmaster. John.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, now that it's under the 10, I'll say Maximum Overdrive. That's fine.
JPO.
The Blob.
But Maximum Overdrive is going to be at 9. Piers, what do you have for 8?
I'll go The Wailing on this one.
JPO.
The Blob.
Jacob.
It's a Cube.
I went Wishmaster, John.
I'll go with Cube.
Okay.
JPO, what do you have for 7?
The Blob.
Jacob,
The Wailing.
Wishmaster, John,
I'll say Wishmaster too.
I'll say the Wailing.
and
So
JPO.
JPO will have to break the tie.
With my options,
Wailing or Wishmaster?
I have Wailing lower. Wailing.
Okay.
Oh, good point. I agree. That's a smart guy.
That sounds dumb.
But
We're doing wrestling topics. Why are we getting wrestling people in the chat? That's weird.
I'll stick with
What,
Wishmaster.
do you don't respect wrestling opinions?
Not really. Wishmaster's fine for now.
JPO.
Oh, sorry, Jake.
The Blob.
I want Wishmaster.
Wishmaster's going to be at 6. To be fair, we do have 3/4 of Lonely Marks here, so you're probably finding this from that chat channel.
Yeah, Lonely Marks. We got a former pro wrestler. We got another podcast. Come on, we all like wrestling.
What's wrestling?
You should tune in Thursdays. Wait, you do.
We've almost got enough to like have a match here. I'm a referee. John kind of dealt with the wrestling. JPO's a manager. Like we.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a squash match, I'm trained enough to do a squash match. So,
I could do it too, but I'm more proficient as a wrestler. We could be.
Well, we need you on the I need you as ref. I'm looking ref. So John can squash me. Jake will commentate. Ring announcer Malcolm.
There you go. Yeah, we can make a whole match. Yeah.
Wow, this guy sucks.
I will say I did almost consider bringing up See No Evil. But for number 5, I've got Spawn. John.
I was backing up I've been backing up JP. I'll put the Blob now. There you go.
Okay. Oh damn! I really want to see the Blob. I put Spawn.
JP.
It's up to Jacob. It sounds like it's the Blob.
Jacob.
Well, I have one of those on my board. I have the Blob.
Oh shit! Oh come on, the Blob would be fun.
It's not bad.
Yeah, my thing is we have a good movie.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I just
Spawn, we don't.
Yeah, that one I really want. Like Blob if never happens, but like Spawn I'm like itching for.
Yeah. But here's what do you have for number 4?
Spawn. I'll stick with Spawn.
JPO.
We'll go Jaws.
Jacob.
Is it From Beyond?
I went Spawn. And John.
I have From Beyond.
From Beyond. It's
me.
No, it's on. It's like JPO said Jaws, so he's the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
JPO Jaws.
No.
From Beyond or Spawn.
Spawn From Beyond.
From Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So I some reason I thought you said something else because but From Beyond is going to be at 4. Funny enough, I was going to write From Beyond anyway. JPO, what do you have for 3?
Jaws.
Jaws.
Spawn. John.
Spawn.
Spawn.
Yeah. Alright, and now we've got we're going to vote for number 1 between Creature from the Black Lagoon and Jaws.
Are we voting for the number one, or are we voting for?
Voting for number one now.
Yeah.
John wants to front up.
Jacob, what do you have for the number one horror movie you want to?
I said Creature.
I said Jaws. John.
I'm with Jaws.
Creature from the Black
Yes.
Lagoon.
And JPO.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Would have been weird if you kept voting for Jaws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just sticking true.
Yeah.
There's more to be mined from it. It's been so long too. Like, yeah, I'm down with that.
I mean, it has happened once, and there was one when I just forgot to say we voted for number one, not number two. Most people assume that. One person still voted the way they've been voted. But
Also, here's this.
But our top 12 horror movies that we think should be remade. At number 12, we've got Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. At 11, we've got Ringo / The Ring. At 10, we've got Martin. At 9, we've got Maximum Overdrive. At 8, we've got Cube. At 7, we've got The Railing. At 6, we've got Wishmaster. At 5, we've got The Blob. At 4, we've got From Beyond. At 3, we've got Spawn. At 2, we got Jaws, and number 1 is Creature from the Black Lagoon. But that is the end of ranking for this week. Next week is a very special episode because it is the 350th episode of Rankin. Yes, it's just been going on that long. And as you may have seen, like throughout the time we've been doing like sci-fi movies of the decades, we finally did classic science fiction movies this year, so it means the topic for the 350th episode will be top 12 science fiction movies of all time out of the movies that have made those respective top 12 lists. So it'll be interesting to see what is the definitive top 12 from all of those put together. But John, we can be on you online.
It's right there. Why We Love Horror at WWL Horror here on YouTube. Lots of content over there on Why We Love Horror. Find me there. Go to the Facebook group Why We Love Horror. You'll find it across all your platforms, but that's where we do movie reviews and horror movie trivia and all kinds of fun stuff. You'll see most of these films there. Jacob, come on over whenever you're ready.
But here's we can be on you online.
Yeah, mostly over on the Movie Hero Network. We'll be doing our top 12 of the year so far here in just a little while for Podcast League now. Got a good panel for that one. And then, yeah, we do Tournament Fights, Tearing Fights, Wheel of Movies, Season Her Trivia, all kinds of stuff over there. And Lonely March Wrestling Podcast every Thursday at 10 o'clock with JPO right below me, Jacob Barber, Richie Goodacre. That guy didn't want to show up tonight. What a lazy asshole. And so, yeah, we're just, you can catch us every Thursday night on the Lonely March Wrestling channel, talking some wrestling. So yeah, thanks.
JPO, we can be on you online.
Well, if you're watching this live, or check out the replays, of course, as well. But you'll see a lot of me and John tonight because coming up soon, we're going to count down our favorite horror movies of the year so far. You will see a special horror pick-em list tonight. So like horror, so you know that. Not horror pick-em list. There's horror trivia. Then after that, there's picks and lists. So the fun doesn't stop. Lonely Marks on Thursdays. I love the Periscope. That's where you should be. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy.
But Jacob, we can be on you online.
Why would I tell my enemies? I don't want them to enjoy good things.
I meant to say, if you like it, tell a friend. If you don't like it, tell an enemy. That's the joke I make.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, like these two said, Lonely Marks on Thursday. I show up most of the time. But also I do the comedy thing, so check that out. I'm gonna start posting some more clips. I just had a really good show last night, so I'm hoping to get some good clips out of that. And then I just recently started a new podcast called Let's Talk About It, where I just sit down with a guest, usually a friend, and we just have a conversation about stuff that they're interested in. So, anyone is welcome to be on that. JPO was on the first episode, so go check that out. And yeah, like I said, anyone is welcome. So I try to do that every Wednesday, but I'm not. I'm not married to Wednesday, so if it has to happen on another day, I'm cool with it.
And yeah, you can find me on Tape Productions hosting Rankum every week. Next week will be the 350th episode of Top 12 Movies, Top 12 Science Fiction Movies of All Time. You can also find me on Spear from my personal channel hosting Spear from the Past. Next episode will be on Backlash 2017. And I pop up here and there. I'll be on Jonathan Caro's Top 128 this week. And yeah, but until next time, that is the end of Rankin for this week. But until next week, see you next week. I don't know.